Hi guys, Robbo46 here and welcome yourselves to... Wait, what's this? MotoGP 18? What's going on, Robbo? Well, there's something that I never actually done that I said I was going to do on MotoGP 18, and that is do a championship with an official rider. So I thought, sod it, let's start it today. So I'm going to pick an official rider and we're going to do a whole championship with him and hopefully get him the World Championship. And I'm going to go for Dovizioso. Let's see if we can get him a MotoGP World Championship. So that is what we're going to do for this series, starting at Qatar. I'm probably going to be really rusty at this game because I haven't played it since Ride 3 came out. And yeah, so it may take me a little while to get to grips with it again, the handling and everything. But hopefully it won't be too bad, and hopefully I won't look too bad either. So yeah, let's see what we can do and see if we can do the whole season and get Dovizioso that first World Championship. So let's get on with qualifying at Qatar, round 1. So currently 5 minutes left to go. Oh, well, Marquez is on pole, 1:49.9. I'm about half a second behind him in third, so we need to find a bit more time. It has taken me quite a few laps to kind of bed myself back in. I'm still not nowhere near what I was when I was playing it originally, but yeah, it's nice to be back with MotoGP. Don't worry, the other series on the channel is not going to go away, so do not worry. I'm not going to stop any series to concentrate on this one. I'm just trying to kind of like spread it out evenly so that we get a bit of everything as often as possible. So yeah, that's why I decided, you know, the game that I was going to play, unfortunately, isn't actually backwards compatible with the Xbox One yet. So I couldn't actually play that, which is what I was hoping to play. But yeah, I won't bother saying what it was because there's no point, because it would have been nice to play this game, but unfortunately couldn't. So I thought, hang on a minute, I said I was going to do a Rider Championship with MotoGP 18, but then I got highly distracted by Ride 3 when that first came out. Hence why I never got around to doing it. But now, because MotoGP is going to be back on our TVs in, or just over a week's time with the first round here at Qatar, I thought, you know what? Let's head on back to MotoGP 18 and let's do a season with an official rider. So we never used the factory Ducati in the career mode. So yeah, Dovizioso, let's get him a championship. Our lap is looking alright at the moment. It's looking pretty good. So run to the line. What is it going to be? Are we going to beat Marquez's time? Yes, we are, by a tenth of a second. Pole position.
Let's have a look at the times after the second and
so we are indeed on pole for the first race of the season.
Thanks for joining us. Tune in again tomorrow for live coverage of the MotoGP.
Okay, let's do this then.
Moving to the starting grid, while the cameras are showing us the riders concentrating before the start of a race.
Okay, looking forward to this. The distance is on 35%, so it should be between like 7 or 8 laps, depending on the track. So let's see what it is around here. Oh yeah, I forgot we have to do manual starts. Forgot about this. Forgot the game had a clutch. Here we go. So an okay-ish start, 7 laps around here. But Marquez has gone into the lead. Now we need to try and find a way past him. Come on. Alright, up the inside through turn 2. Yeah, just snuck through there. Thank you very much. He's going to be on the inside for the kink, but we got a better speed through there and better line. And we're currently in the lead. Now, whether we can stay here or not, I have no idea. Tyre wear is on, so we may start to suffer towards the end of the race, but we may also be alright. I've got a bit of traction control turned on, because I tried it without, and because I haven't played the game for such a long time, I was a bit all over the place, spinning up the rear, sliding it everywhere and going pretty slow. So I thought I'd turn it up to 2 and see how we get on with that. And it's working alright at the moment. I hope I don't look a bit too all over the place. Like I said, I haven't actually played MotoGP 18 since Ride 3 came out. That was a long time ago. So it is nice to come back to this game. I think we're doing alright at the moment. We are pulling away. I haven't got the mini-map on, or the overtakes or anything like that, or the splits or the gaps or anything like that. That's all turned off. In fact, I've only just realised that that was all turned off because I turned that off when I was doing career mode. So I won't actually know what our gap is back to second place, which I'm assuming is still Marquez. But I turned all that off because when there were overtakings going on, oh, we got quite a nice gap actually. Yeah, it came up in like a really annoying place, so that if you're going through, I think it came up on the left-hand side of the screen. So if you're going through a left-hander, it kind of cut half the corner off, and that was annoying me. So I kind of turned that off. And yeah, I kept getting bloody copyright strikes for the list down the side of the screen as well, which is a pain in the ass. Hopefully we won't get any problems with MotoGP 19 when that comes out, probably in June. Yeah, because that was a bit annoying with Dorna putting bloody copyright strikes on people's videos just because of the graphics are the same as real life. But at the same time, it's my own gameplay and it's my own commentary, so you can sod right off. So far, we're doing alright. Lap 2, and we've got quite a decent lead at the moment. Let's just hope we can maintain that, because like I said, towards the end of the race the tyres will start going off, and as soon as I start losing a bit of rear grip we could be in a bit of trouble. Hopefully our front will be okay. So when I put the disc back in, there were no updates whatsoever for the game, and also I noticed no DLC or anything for the game. So like I said in, what video was it, doing the endurance race in Ride 3 around Portimao, which went up yesterday, so be sure to check that one out. I did say on that MotoGP 18 feels like a kind of like a bare bones MotoGP game, because comparing the content with previous titles, it had like obviously all the Red Bull Rookies Cup, Moto3, Moto2 and MotoGP, but the other games had that, plus they had some of the classic bikes as well from different eras. So they had like the 500cc, some 250 stuff, 1252 stroke, stuff like that. So it's a bit of a shame that it wasn't in MotoGP 18. So it would be nice to see a bit more variety in MotoGP 19. Which I know people will be saying, yeah, but obviously it's meant to be based on the 2019 season, which is fine, I understand that. But it's also nice to have a little bit extra. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit extra. It was nice to get on the classic bikes and blast around on them and try to handle the two-stroke 500s. But yeah, they're definitely missing from MotoGP 18. And I will at some point do a wish list for MotoGP 19, because there is a few things that I would like to see improved for MotoGP 19 and some additions for MotoGP 19. One of them being bringing back bloody managerial career mode. I love that mode in the previous, not the last MotoGP game. Yeah, it was the last MotoGP game, wasn't it? Yeah, MotoGP 17. That had it in. But they decided not to bring it into MotoGP 18, which was a bit of a bizarre one. So that'd be nice to bring back. I really wish they'd sort out online for their games at the moment. I don't know what's going on with that online stuff. They seem to be kind of focusing on esports a bit too much with the MotoGP games, which is kind of having a knock-on effect to the actual online playability. So the online servers and that are not that great. You get quite a bit of lag and stuff like that. Same with Ride 3, but they didn't really have an excuse of esports with Ride 3, because Ride 3 doesn't have esports. So I don't know why they messed that up for online as well. So definitely some improvements to be made. Obviously when MotoGP 19 comes out, we're going to have all the riders that have moved on their new bikes, the new liveries, stuff like that. We're going to have the Triumph engines in Moto2, so I really hope they do them a good one, a good service. and we get some really nice noise from the Triumph engines because they sound really awesome. So I hope they don't just use the same sound that they've been using for Moto2, which was the Honda CBR 600 engines. Let's hope they actually change it to what they're meant to be, which is the Triumph 765 engines. And let's hope they change the engine note as well to match that. We've been caught a bit. I've made a bit of a mistake talking too much. We're on lap 4. But yeah, we're still in the lead. The Ducati definitely showing its speed down the straights. I think Ducati are going to have a bit of a fight on their hands for top speed wise this coming season, because Honda have built an absolute monster of an engine and they've got some really good top speed with their engines, so could see some interesting battles down the straights with the Ducati and the Honda. Obviously the rest of the circuit is going to come into its own anyway, especially with the corners and that. But definitely down the straights, I think Honda are going to be in good form down the straights this season, which is a bit worrying for the rest of them. Yeah, looking forward to this season of MotoGP. Not long left to wait. In fact, I think the first free practice will be a week today. So, not long to wait. We are in March, so it is happening this month. MotoGP 2019 season. A lot to look forward to in all 3 classes. So yeah, looking forward to it. Wasn't expecting this race to be as easy as it is at the moment. Difficulty is on, as you'd expect, 120. But yeah, considering it's my first race back, we are doing alright. Doing alright. We've got still a little bit of gap over second place, which is Vinales. I don't know where Marquez has gone. I'm assuming it's still Vinales. Anyway, I haven't looked behind me for a little while. But yeah, this is a little mini series, so we'll be doing a full season with Dovizioso, trying to get him that first World Championship. Obviously, this definitely helps that the Ducati is the best bike in the game, but hey ho, that's the way it goes. It's actually quite a nice bike to come back to. Vinales is closing. Can we pull away down the straight, because that Yamaha isn't that fast down the straight? We are just easing away slightly, just a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely a nice bike to come back to with this game, especially if you haven't played it for a long time. At least you know you're on a decent bike, so it's good to kind of get to grips with the game again. But yeah, completely forgot about the layout of qualifying as well. I'd done Q1 and completely forgot how to do Q2 as well, so I put loads of time into Q1 and I was thinking, oh wait, hang on, I've still got another session to go yet. But it was fine actually, because that actually gave me more time to put more laps under my belt to get used to the game again. But it feels like I remember, it didn't really take too many laps to kind of readjust. I think turning in's a bit quicker compared to the likes of Ride 3. So yeah, it just took a little bit of getting used to just with the turning in. And rear grip is a little bit less with MotoGP 18, especially with the traction control turned right off. But overall feeling's pretty good. It doesn't feel as understeery as I remember. I remember it feeling pretty understeery. I don't think it feels as understeery as Ride 3. So, the handling definitely different from what I remember, but like I said, didn't take too much to get used to it again. So, we're coming to the end of the penultimate lap. We are in the lead. We've got a nice lead over Vinales. We've kind of broken away from him again. So nice lead. 1 lap left to go. This one is looking like a good result. good start to the season for Dovizioso. Looking like it's going to be a good win, which is what we need to do. And then we go on to Argentina, Tomás de Rio Hondo. It's been a bit of a hit and miss track for me in this game. I've crashed there a few times, had some wins, had some podiums, had some results outside the top 3. But yeah, so far, this lap, this race, going good. Let's just hope we can maintain that throughout the whole season and hope that we can get Dovizioso that championship. So if we win this race, we will equal what Dovizioso done in real life last season. He did get the win from Marquez and Rossi in 3rd, I think. So if we can replicate that, then that's good. Then we'll go on to round 2 and see if we can get a good result there. That was a Crutchlow that won there last season. I remember that race. Obviously Marquez with his shenanigans. Let's hope that we'll see Crutchlow on the top step of the podium a few more times this coming season. Still not fully fit yet. I mean, all 3 of the HRC riders have got all of them have got some kind of injury. Obviously Marquez with his shoulder, Lorenzo with his wrist, and Crutchlow with his ankle. I mean, Nakagami, I think he's fully fit. There we go. That is the first race done. Got a good win. So there's some names that we won't be seeing this coming season, unfortunately. Scott Reddin, Alvaro Bautista, just among some of them. It's 25 points for us. That is a good way to start the championship. Let's hope we can continue that. 25 points for Ducati and 41 for our team. Nice.
These days the podium is extremely valuable.
I just hope in MotoGP 19 they kind of implement some of the stuff that was in Monster Energy Supercross 2, like meeting fans and media days and stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool. So qualifying in where are we? Argentina. See what we can do. This is going to be my first lap out. We were pretty quick in Q1. Obviously gone straight through. Now we just need to see if we can do a decent lap in Q2 and get through. And at least start on the front row. That would be nice. Not saying it's going to be pole, but if we can get near the front, that would be fine because the Ducati does get off the line really well. Okay, a bit too hot into there, a bit too wide. Cut that back, late apex. Okay, through this left. Yeah, that was fine. This corner, the AI are pretty slack on the brakes into there, so you can make up quite a bit of time on the brakes into there. Apart from when the tyres start going off, and then it's a bit more difficult. This corner as well, coming out of here, the AI are pretty bad, so you can again make up a bit of time with that. And coming out the final corner as well, they're pretty slow going through. They're making the transition from the right to the left. So if you get it knocked up to the 3rd gear and then square that corner off, you can get good drive through it and make up some more time. Okay, there we go. 134.5. Is that going to be enough? Let's hope so. So, we've gone through to 2nd place at the moment and down to 3rd. So, starting on the front row.
Let's have a look at the times after the
starting in 3rd place.
live broadcast ends
Marquez, the
here
only
today.
one in the 33s.
Tune in again
This could be an
tomorrow
interesting
for live
race.
coverage of the MotoGP Class Grand Prix. We are moving now to the starting grid, where the MotoGP riders are ready to start the race.
Right, let's have it then.
Everything
So
here
we're on
is
the
ready
front
to
right.
start the race at Termas de Rio Hondo. Riders just have one thing on their mind now, being the first to cross the finish line.
Okay. Let's get a decent start. Wait for the lights to go out. Here we go. Yeah, the Ducati does pull off the line really well. Oh, Petrucci's trying to come around the outside. We're not going to see him in those colours this season. He's going to be in the full factory colours. That's going to put us at the inside of Marquez. So we are immediately into the lead. We've gone a little bit wide. Marquez trying to come through, not quite making it through. Through the kink. Bit wide. Marquez is through that time. So we're back down to second place. We can try and get Marquez's slipstream. Can we outbrake him? Yes, we can. I'm getting too hot though, I think. Yeah, thought so. It's going to lose us a couple of positions. Maybe just the one. Around the outside of Marquez. That has worked as well. That's worked a treat. And then get on the brakes. Get it stopped for this. Right. Oh, he's trying to come through there. There wasn't any room. So we've got 8 laps to do around here. So slightly longer race. But then obviously the lap isn't as long as Qatar. Can we pull away? I don't think we will. No, they're still right there. But this is the corner where we will pull out a little bit. Yeah, it is. We've pulled out quite a big distance already. All right. So far so good. Through the right kink, onto the back straight, a bit too wide, touch the grass. Not good. I'm expecting Marquez to close that in, but he's still miles behind. What's going on? I was expecting them to be a little bit closer, I have to be honest. The Ducati has been working well around here. I know I didn't get pole, but I pretty much only done the one lap and then came in and just fast forwarded the time. Bit wide. That's fine actually. Through the left. Just pretty much turn it into a time trial when you're out front. Try and do some decent laps just to try and break them. It seems to be working. It's one thing I didn't actually mention when we were doing the Qatar race is that there is a penalty lap that they'll be doing now. So if they get penalised for something during the race, there is a section of track where they basically end up going off track, but they have to stay between these two white lines. It basically makes one of the hairpins a lot longer, so they will lose quite a bit of time, which is quite a nice idea. However, saying that, because it is off track, they're going to have to go careful that it doesn't actually turn into something dangerous, because with Qatar, obviously, when they get a bit of wind, it blows sand across the track and across everywhere pretty much. So if someone ends up having to do that, then they're going on to the dirty part of the track, and they're going to have to go careful not to obviously push too much, because obviously they could end up crashing there. If it turns out to be too dangerous though, that might not be such a good idea, because it will be dirty out there. So yeah, they will have to scrub their speed off. They won't be able to take it like a normal hairpin. It'll be interesting to see what happens, because it is a bit like almost like a Joker lap from Rallycross, where they have to do a slightly longer corner on one of their laps. Obviously, it's not mandatory in MotoGP that they have to do one. It's just if they get penalised for something, then that is basically... It kind of stops them adding time at the end or giving them a ride-through penalty, which is probably a bit fairer because sometimes they'll get a ride-through penalty for something that doesn't quite fit the crime. So they might do something slight which hasn't really gained them much of an advantage at all. And then they have to go through the pit, which loses them about 30 seconds. So you're giving them just a slightly longer corner, so they have to go the long way around, basically, go off track and then come back on. I guess is a slightly better way of doing things, because if you're battling for the lead, of course you will lose time, you will lose positions if you're in a group. But you're not going to lose too much that it's going to completely mess up your race if you've still got time to catch back up to them. So I guess that's a good thing. Obviously, like I said, they will have to look out for when they apply their brakes and get on the power, because it will be dirty out there. But it will be interesting to see how that pans out and whether they start implementing that in more tracks, because as far as I'm aware at the moment it's just Qatar. So whether they're going to start implementing that pretty much at every track, it would be interesting to see, how the riders get on with it. Obviously the thing is, when they bring something new in, it's all well and good, but when they're racing it's not something they're thinking about, so you know, you might get someone who completely forgets about it when they're racing. But yeah, then that obviously would come down to the dash text that the teams can send them to their dashboard. But yeah, something interesting. So have to see how that pans out and see if they implement that in other tracks. If it works out well, I can't see why not. But at the other hand, if it doesn't work out well, then at least they've kind of tried something a bit different with the penalty system, rather than just banging someone with a ride-through penalty, which, like I said, sometimes is pretty harsh. But yeah, MotoGP 2019, it's starting very soon. Can't wait. And hopefully it won't be too much longer until we start to see some stuff about MotoGP 19. You can be sure it's going to be coming. Yeah, so something that I was looking at the other day, which I played when it first came out, and something that kind of gave me the idea of maybe they should do this with a MotoGP game. SBK Generations. Now, that game was, I think it was career mode. You went across 4 years. So they basically put 4 seasons worth of riders and teams and that into all the categories. So when you're in superbikes, obviously you actually got to see riders change teams and bikes and that. Some riders appear for 1 season, like Ben Spies, and then disappear because he went off to MotoGP. It would be nice if they'd done that with a MotoGP game and actually put like more than 1 season in, so that we could see the different riders moving about in the paddock and that, and changing teams and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool to see. Does make me wonder why they've only done that the once. I know it probably takes a bit of work, but maybe it's something to do with the licensing or something. I'm not so sure, but I mean, they've done the last few years with milestones, so maybe in the future we might get a MotoGP game like that, where it's not just 1 season, it's spread across a few seasons. Obviously they wouldn't be able to do future seasons because they have to make sure that everything forms in line with the contracts and that at the present time, but like the past time, then can't see why they can't do it. But I expect, I don't really know what to expect from MotoGP 19. I guess the main thing is more MotoGP. Let's hope that they tweak the physics a bit more, make it a bit less understeery. But like I said, it doesn't feel as understeery as Ride 3 does. But yeah, let's just hope that they They can still tweak them a bit. They definitely need tweaking. And it would be nice if, for some reason, even though when they first advertised it, they were talking about the aero packages on the fairings and that. So a lot of us were assuming we were going to be able to choose whether to run the aero fairing or not. But that wasn't the case, unfortunately, so it would be nice to actually have that choice in MotoGP 19. It does look like pretty much all the bikes have got some sort of aero fairing as standard now. So maybe we won't get the choice if all the bikes are going to be using all of it throughout the whole season. But yeah, it just would have been nice to have the choice whether to use it or not, and to see how much of a difference it makes, because like the factory Ducati bikes, both Dovizioso and Lorenzo, they don't have the aero fairing at all on their bikes, but the Pramac bikes of Petrucci and Miller in this game, and in fact so does Bautista, they all have the aero fairing, which I thought was a little bit strange. So it would have been nice to have had the choice, but oh well. It would be nice to have a bit more rider customization. After playing Monster Energy Supercross 2, I was amazed by how much rider customization there was in that. You could even choose your rider's height. Please bring that to MotoGP. Also, let us create our own riding style as well. Don't give us the same basic ones to choose from. I don't know why they got rid of the riding style editor in Ride 3. I know it's still called the riding style editor, but it's not actually the riding style editor. But yeah, bring that to a MotoGP game. That would be pretty cool. Bring back managerial career mode. Sort out the online. Let us set up public lobbies so that we can actually choose the parameters of the lobby and not just put us in random lobbies with random people. I mean, I don't mind facing against random people, but I don't like going into a lobby when I've selected what my preference is for a lobby, and then it puts me in a lobby where the physics are on standard and you can't change them, and the AI is on easy as well and you can't change that either. So it would be nice that you could actually host a lobby, a public lobby, as well as obviously a private lobby. Set your parameters, and then people can search for a lobby. Give us the tools to search for lobbies. And then when we find one that we like, we can just enter it. It'd be so much easier and take out a lot of the hassle and a lot of the issues that people have with the online. And obviously fix the servers and that, make sure that the connection is better. But anyway, that's me done with blabbering on, and we are about to win again. So that is 2 from 2. Obviously, in real life, Dovizioso did not win at Aragon this season, or last season. He ended up in, what was it, 6th place he finished. So, we've done better than he'd done in real life, and we are leading the championship quite nicely at the moment, from Vinales in 2nd and Rossi in 3rd. And Ducati leading the Constructors' title and the Team Championship as well. So far, so good.
Stars of the day enjoying a round of applause from the team and fans. Everyone gave it their all today.
Didn't even realise that Zarco got on the podium. There we go, guys. That is the end of the first part of Dovizioso's career, trying to get Dovizioso his first championship in the MotoGP paddock, or the MotoGP category, I should say. So yeah, that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See you.